on to Unit 9, which is the last unit in the study guide or of this course. And this unit is about instruments and elements of learning, instruction and parent feedback. All right. So basically it focuses on self-reflection and self-evaluation tools. It looks at questionnaires, the information derived from questionnaires, and how to implement feedback. So again, we focus quite a lot on feedback at the end and how to use feedback and the methods that is used to get information. So basically, we look at the contents of this unit. It's everything I've just mentioned. And we move on to self-reflection instruments. And self-reflection takes place in 3 different stages. So basically, stage 1 is the event itself. This is the starting point of an actual teaching episode, such as a lesson or other instructional level or event. While the focus of critical reflection is usually a teacher's own teaching, self-reflection can also be stimulated by observation of another person's teaching. So you don't necessarily have to just evaluate your own methods of teaching. When you watch another teacher teach, you can also compare that to the way you teach and evaluate if your teaching are effective or not. Okay, stage 2 is recollection of the event. So now you have observed or evaluated your own teaching methods, and then you go into stage 2 where you have the recollection of the event. So here you are taking account of what exactly happened without explanation or evaluation. So basically you can write down or just remember exactly what happened without trying to answer questions that come up. So try to stay as objective as possible. Some ways that you can use to record or recollect the event is to use written descriptions, a video or audio recording, or the use of checklists or coding systems to capture the details. So it would be good if you can have a record of your recollection. The last stage is to review and response to the event. In other words, now you've observed, you've evaluated your lesson, you have recollected the event. In other words, you've put it down on paper, or you have a recording, or you have some physical material that you can work with. So now the last stage is the review and response to the event. So you return and you review. The event is now processed at a deeper level, and questions can now be asked about the experience. So here you can start asking yourself some questions on how you can improve your teaching and learning through ongoing thinking. All right, so this keeps you on your toes when it comes to studying these self-reflective or reflection instruments. In your study guide, you will find 2 self-reflection instruments or checklists. Read them through, they're quite long. Make sure that you are familiar with the concepts and terms in it. It will give you some guidelines on how to do self-evaluation one day. Self-reflection. There are also tools for learners with regards to self-reflection. Have a look at those too and see how these tools can help learners to perform better. Right. Now we are at the self-evaluation instruments, and there is a slight difference between self-reflection and self-evaluation. Self-evaluation focuses more on the actual teaching that takes place during every lesson. The evaluation is done directly after presenting the lesson. So while it's still fresh in your mind, you do this evaluation. Reflection is an ongoing process and is done before, during, and after teaching. Okay, with the evaluation instrument you use directly after the lesson. Okay, we move on to questionnaires, and feedback. And we see that a formal standardized questionnaire is a survey instrument used to collect data from individuals about themselves or about their school. They are used in education to collect information about various aspects of school systems to improve and to plan. As many of you know, we already have quite a few formal standardized questionnaires and forms that we fill in. If you are a teacher, that you fill in at the end of the year. We have the self-assessment questionnaire, and then questionnaires about the school and the management and about the buildings. So there's definitely forms already circulating through schools every year, which we have to hand in, and from which statistics are gathered and improvements is made upon. Okay, so when we use these feedback questionnaires and feedback forms, it many times happens that we use an open loop feedback process. Unfortunately, this happens when people don't act on the information received from parents or from learners or from the community, and this results in a lack of the improvement of the school's or teachers' performance, which has a direct effect on the learners as a result. So, sorry. Unfortunately, I think this happens quite a lot, although there are schools that do act on the parents and communities' feedback or results on questions that they may answer. All right, so the open loop feedback is the one where you don't get any results. It just stays an open loop. The closed loop feedback process is the one that we want to use. This is a more effective solution to deal with feedback, and it basically consists of a 4-step process. It's collecting the data, so getting information from the community, from the parents, maybe even from the learners, and to read it, to understand it, and to take action on things that can be improved. So you need to be proactive. You need to get active in order to make sure that you are improving your school. When you have done that, you can again communicate the results of your actions back to the community or parents. What you do then is you refine the changes. You will go through a trial and error stage, which is very normal. As with any changes that takes place, one cannot always predict the results. So we have to make few changes. When the changes are refined, we continue, and this loop starts again. This is what closed loop means. In other words, if you think of a box or a circle, this is something that is closed. There's no way that the data can escape. There are something taking place all the time. So it doesn't end at refined changes. The next step is going back to collecting data and then again taking action to make change. Again, communicating feedback and again refine the changes. So this is an ongoing process. But those are the 4 steps that keeps on repeating in this closed loop. Right. Okay. The last part that we're going to look at is the role of national school audits as an assessment system to promote quality education. Again, here we refer back to some of the forms that many teachers have to fill in each and every year to help to assure quality education. All right. So assuring quality education is the overriding goal of the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture. So the focus of this ministry is very much on quality education, to bring us up to standard and to stay there. An effective monitoring and evaluation process is vital for the improvement of quality and standards of performance in schools. It seeks that our learners receive equal opportunities to improve their abilities. In other words, it doesn't matter where you live, what your social economic status is, what your background is, what your disabilities are. You should receive an equal opportunity to learn and to improve on your abilities. I'm talking about students and about learners here. Okay. So basically the way that they do do the school audits is that data is collected from learners, from parents, and from other stakeholders in the education system. So at the end of the day, this is a lot of data collected from many, many people. This data serves to make the outcome of educational management and practice more transparent and has ultimate purpose of providing personnel in the system with information designed to improve their practice. So basically, the providing part is, if we looked at the closed loop, it sort of works in the same way. We collect the data, we then take action, then feedback is communicated back to the parents and the teachers and the learners, and then lastly, it should provide personnel in the system with information to design and improve their practice. So some advice should be given, some strategies could be suggested to improve the practice of school and to raise the quality of education in Namibia. All right, that is the end of this unit and also the end of assessment and evaluation. I wish you luck with the studies and enjoy the rest of the year, and good luck with your examinations.